Hello and welcome to another special program on Megar TV screens. Today we have very special and important guests, Alice Megar and Emma Odrej. They have been doing some observations lately in the south of Kurdistan. So I would like to welcome them first. Dear Alice Megar, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for receiving us.
Thank you. Emma Odrej, and thanks for accepting that interview.
Thank you.
So let's start with you, dear Emma. You went with a delegation to South Kurdistan lately, and so first of all, what was your observations? What did you see? And you have had opportunity to witness there. So what was the most effective thing for you? First of all, very shortly.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here, and I'm very humbled and very pleased to be part of this team. Going there it was very important for me and for us, so we can understand the situation better, and also to tell the family, the colleagues, that we are with them. Even if we are from France, we are with them, we are supporting them, and we will do everything in our power to bring their voices back home and to show to the media, to the public, the struggle of the Kurdish journalists, of the Kurdish population. What I saw there, it was very emotional seeing the family of two journalists who were killed in a terrorist act by a Turkish drone. It was very painful and emotional. But in the end, what I saw also is the power that generates this kind of action, how their voice won't be forgotten, their voice won't be silenced. This created a new generation of journalists who will work on the same issues. So if I get something from that, is that they didn't manage to kill the voices of the Kurdish journalists and the voices of the Kurdish people.
That's a good come out from your observations, but also can you very shortly describe your observations in the way of reflecting the atmosphere? Because many people are wondering how is the atmosphere in there, how is the things going, and then we're gonna come to the freedom of speech in the area. Because the elections are coming in the area as well. The situation.
More not so in philosophic.
Yeah.
I see. Well, indeed, it was. I had the feeling there was something big coming, and I understood the elections because a lot of things happened. It's very active as a city, and a lot of persons were. Outside demonstrating with flags, and it was very interesting to see how elections are organized in this city. Of course, it's a very important moment for the city, for the region, and we felt that when we get there. It's very joyful. At some point we were asking if there's a party or something happening, but in fact it was a joyful moment, and perhaps it's also something that's different to us for our country. In France, it's not the same. It's not the same organization, not the same powerful. Events, going there. So it was very nice to see how things, and a beautiful city, of course, and we really enjoyed being there.
Thank you, Emma. Alice, let's continue with you very shortly. Would like to ask your observations as well. What did you see there, and what was the most effective thing that you witnessed there?
So it was really intense. We visited like 10 medias and organizations there. So we had the opportunity to see how it works from the inside. I was really impressed to see how a woman leads free medias there. So we also had the occasion to see how much Chatter Media was a big family, and how this loss of Hero and Bahadin affects everyone there very deeply. And I want to say that we really share their grief. And we've talked to their colleagues to try to know them a little bit more. And I want to say that they seems to be very special women, independent and very strong.
Thank you. Secondly, you also made a press statement in your visit while you were there as well. So you went to the place where Shahid Gulistan Tara and Herobat Din were martyred, and you met with their families, as Emma explained as well. So you had meetings. So who did you meet there, and what were the prominent notes from these meetings? What was the most important outcomes from these meetings?
The point was to make these medias and organizations and associations cooperate to give another dimensions to that story. Because 2 young journalists were killed by Turkish states, and we didn't hear about it in France. Almost nobody talked about it except the free medias in Soleimani. So the main message was we have to stand together. And as journalists, despite our political opinions, because it's about freedom of speech, freedom of the press, it's about democracy, and it concerns everyone.
Thank you. Emma, let's continue with you. We talked about Shahid Gulistan Tara and Herobat Din. So Turkey is clearly attacking to the Kurdish women and specifically also targeting the journalists. So what is Turkey trying to achieve? What's the point that they non-stop targeting the woman?
Well, my understanding, I don't know what is in a criminal mind, because it's a criminal act. So pressing on the button and killing 2 human beings in a second, I don't know what's in his mind. It's a dark mind. We cannot see inside. But I can understand something. They are trying to silence women. They are trying to silence journalists. They are trying to silence the voices of the Kurdish people. And that's something that I should tell them also, because I went there and I saw that. I inform you, the criminal, I talk to them. When you do that, you're not silencing anyone. You are amplifying the voices. When the killing of those 2 journalists won't silence the voices of the Kurdish, the voices of the women, will amplify it, because they thought perhaps that killing them would make things better for them. I don't know what level, what sick level they would think this, but this is the opposite reaction, in fact. So what I saw that there it was like the colleagues. They have now a mission for the truth, a mission for the justice, and a mission to amplify the voices of those 2 beautiful souls who were killed by this monstrous terrorist attack. So I understand that, you know, those who did that think that they are protected by their government, by the Turkish government, but let me assure them that we will do. We as union, we as federation in France, in international European and journalist union in France, we will do everything in our power to seek justice, to help seeking justice in this case, because this cannot be just some random act. This need to be heard, justice needs to be heard. So this is my message for this.
So you make observations in the area. According to that, how is the media situation? How is there a freedom of speech? Is the journalists are safe there? So how is the situation about from the journalists' side, basically? What was your observations on that?
The first observation was when we had this conference, press conference, and no follow-up, no follow-up questions, nothing. And I was looking at the panel of journalists, and I was wondering why there's no follow-up. Generally, you ask questions after, at least see with the foreign journalists how things are happening, something. And I understood while being there that the fear they are trying, because this is also a signal of the Turkish government by killing those journalists. You need to shut up. In fact, you need to be silent, and it can work. It can work because the fear can be here. You are not safe if you know that at any point of the day a drone can kill you. You're not safe. How can you work as a journalist if you know when you go outside to work on the field, you will find you can be killed in a second, and not only will you be killed in a second, but not so many people will talk around. So no, the conditions are not here. The safety conditions for the journalists are not here. We need to improve that. We need to assure the security for those journalists, for every journalist, and for those who are not talking today because they're thinking, well, I'm not going to be targeted because I don't know, it's not going to happen on me. Let me assure about one thing: it will happen, because this is the start of something. This is not the end. This is the start of something. When you kill a journalist, you will kill the second one, the third one, and we have a long list of names of persons who were killed till now. So let's not forget that. It's the moment to create a coalition of journalists, international coalition of journalists. It's the moment to act on this. It's a moment to tell the government of Turkey, this won't happen again. This should not happen again, and this won't happen again. And if it happens, those who do this will have to go to trial, international court, because this is a crime, is a terrorist act.
Thank you, Emma. Alice, continuing with you by asking what are the biggest issues there, and what are your proposed solutions for the issues? What was the main issues, do you think?
What we saw is that there is a lack of cooperation between medias, and a lot of medias in Suleimani are not free. Like 80% of them are related to parties, to political organizations. So I think they have, and we have, as journalists in Europe, to have a bigger cooperation, and also Handrin proposed to create a center based in Brussels to relay all the Kurdish informations that we toutes les informations qu'ils peuvent récupérer sur le terrain.
All the information they can gather from the field, from the outside.
Yeah. So what are the demands or the messages from the people and individuals that you met with them? They must say something to Europe. So what was their messages? What did they ask you to, when you come back, to write and publish and focus on?
We met Rabin Bakir, which is the only one who survived to this attack. And his message to European states especially was clear. He demands to them to stop sending weapons to Turkish states, because these weapons are used against civilians. The people we met also want justice to be done, and they are determined to go in front of the International Court for that.
Thank you. Emma, you also underlined that it's a war crime, plus it's a humanistic crime to kill journalists. Do you think the reaction against this, especially from the European institutions as well as the journalist unions, do you think that did they give enough reaction? And also, what is your suggestion? What else needs to they do? Because in Europe there is hundreds of journalist unions, but are these just the unions to collect monthly money from their members, or do you really think they can act to stop Turkey's humanistic crimes over the journalists?
Well, you're right on spot with this question, because not only the information didn't pass very well, but not a lot of journalists did the job to relay the information, and especially to ask questions to the Turkish government, to ask them why this kind of crime was done. First, let me thank to those who did their job. Donc, there were some Reporters Without Borders, many organizations, made their a text and published a text. So that's that. But we didn't did enough on this matter. It wasn't enough. I heard about this 1 month after. Of course, all eyes are the news are terrible now in Palestine and what's happening there. So I understand that some of the eyes are on this place, but we need to continue to work on this matter, because the journalists, they have the power to push a subject in the news. So it's about this. It's a simple thing. We talk about it, it's in the news. We don't talk about it, it's not in the news. We talk about it. We need to ask the Turkish government why the good questions, and especially to prosecute those who did this. It's not asking just questions, but to make the justice somehow, because journalism is a big family. We're not. It's like I don't care because it's in Kurdistan. No, we are a bigger family. We need to protect ourselves. So if someone from our family is hurt, we need to help. It's the same thing. So my feeling is no, they didn't. It wasn't a good job about this in the news, in the media, and now we can do something. This is the final thing. Criticizing is okay. We understand. We didn't do the job, but let's now change that, and let's now talk about it and try and help this big family to be safe and secure.
Actually, I wish there was more time to talk to you about it, but we have only 2-3 minutes left. So lastly, very shortly, is there anything else I didn't ask you would like to say about this topic, especially about the Gülistan Tara and martyred hero as well? So if there is anything I didn't ask, anything you would like to say, please have your last words just for a minute.
I will be very short. So first, I want to thank all the people who were so welcoming with us on site. And second, I would like to say to the persons who killed those 2 human beings, beautiful souls, this is not just a random act. This will not stop here. We will do everything in our power to bring them in front of a judge and to seek justice. This is the last thing that I want to say here. Yeah.
Emma,
thank you so much.
Alice, lastly, very shortly, anything else you would like to add on? Anything I didn't ask? Anything to honor the Şehit Gülistan Tara and Hero Bahattin? Please, you can have your last words.
As Emma said, we are a big family and we have to talk about this death. Even if it could seem far away, it's not. It's about freedom of speech, freedom of medias, and it's a shame that this attack happened in the silence of the international community, and we will do whatever is in our power to talk about it in France and in Europe.
Thank you, Alice. Thanks for joining us. And Emma, thanks for your participation as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We came to another end of the special program in Medya Haber TV. We speak to two very important French journalists, Alice Megar and Emma Odrej. They have been witness and had opportunity to make observations in south of Kurdistan. We have talked about Shehid Gulistan Tara and Herobatin. We will see you on the next special program.